fellow deputies. Today is International Women's Day. In the name of the Presidium of NPC, let us extend festival greetings and best wishes to all women deputies, members, and staff, to women of all ethnic groups, and also women in Hong Kong SAR and Macau SAR, and also in Taiwan, as well as women of the overseas Chinese, and to women of all countries in the world. Deputies. Today's plenary meeting is supposed to be attended by 2,929, with 2,869 present, 60 absent. The attendance met the quorum. Let's start. There are 3 items on today's agenda. We shall now proceed to the first item, which is the review of the work report of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress. Please allow me to invite Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Comrade Zhao Leji, to deliver the report. Fellow deputies, on behalf of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, I now present this report on its work for your deliberation. The year in review. The year 2024 marked the 75th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. The CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, brought together the Chinese people of all ethnic groups and led them in overcoming difficulties and forging ahead with fortitude. Therefore, we ensured that the progress while maintaining stability, made solid progress in high-quality development, further deepened the reform and opening up, and made solid efforts in guaranteeing people's well-being and also maintain stability in social law and order. Thus, making new and solid progress in Chinese modernization. With 75 years of unremitting efforts, China has experienced tremendous changes, and the national rejuvenation has entered an irreversible historical stage, fully demonstrating the obvious advantages of the leadership of CPC and our socialist institutes. The year 2024 also commemorates the 70th anniversary of the NPC. At the meeting, General Secretary Xi Jinping made an important speech highlighting the glorious history, unique strengths, practical experience, and requirements of the People's Congress system, providing a fundamental base for upholding, improving, and running the People's Congress system to good effect. The experience of 70s practice tells us that the People's Congress system is in line with our country's condition and reality, reflect our country's nature, and is also a good system letting the people run the country. and that is also a good system that could pull the strengths of the people of all sectors and to advance the Chinese modernization. That also show that the strong vitality and strengths with 70 years practice also encourage us to be more confident in the past theory, system, and culture, and also remain firmly committed to the socialist political advancement with Chinese characteristics, and to further leverage the political strengths of the People's Congresses in order to provide a solid institutional guarantee to realize the fighting goal for the party and the people in the new era, in the new journey. In the past year, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the Standing Committee taken guidance on the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and fully implemented the 20th National Party Congress and its second and third plenary session of the CPC Central Committee, and also study and implemented Xi Jinping's thought on the rule of law and its key ideas on upholding and improving the People's Congress system. We also upheld the unity between the leadership by the party, the running of the country by the people, and the law-based governance, and advanced whole process people's democracy, and performed its functions in accordance with the law. Therefore, we made new progress and results in our work. First, strengthened implementation of the Constitution, oversight of constitutional compliance, safeguarded the authority and sanctity of the Constitution. We always stick to the core position of the Constitution and also incorporate implementation of the Constitution, and also play and stick to its provisions, principles, and the spirit of the Constitution. We also improved the oversight of the Constitution compliance, and also to bring that into our day-to-day aspect of work. We also make sure that all the work that is also law-based, procedure-based, and standardized. We revised twice that the draft version on a law of deputies, which is also submitted to this session for further deliberation and approval. And also at the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the People's establishment of the China, we also to approve that the granting of the medals and also honorary titles. And we also to further improve that constitutional review and the normative document recording and review. And we also made a solid work according to the law and the Constitution, make sure that the suggestions and documents received that will go through the procedures. We reviewed all 2,146 normative documents submitted for recording, and we also examined 5,682 suggestions for review made by citizens and organizations, and also provided feedbacks. And we also asked the relevant formulating bodies to revise or rescind 1,040 normative documents. We also further improved the public outreach and education regarding the Constitution. We also practiced General Secretary Xi's important speech on the Constitution, and also organized a seminar on the 11th National Constitution Day, and also to strengthen our efforts in the Constitution education in the special administrative region, and also organize ceremonies for officials to pledge allegiance. We also exercise our constitutional power of appointment and removals. We also made the appointments and removals of the key officials for the government and the country. Second, improving the quality of legislation, and also to better design the socialist legal system with Chinese characteristics. We paid special attention to the legislations in the emerging areas, the legislation in areas involving foreign affairs, and also make sure that the legislative work is done in a scientific and democratic way, and also to follow the law, and also to provide a high-quality guarantee and service. Over the year, we deliberated on 39 items of the legislation, adopted 24 of them, which included the 6 new laws and 14 revised laws, and 4 decisions on legal issues and major matters. We strengthened legislation concerning the economy. We formulated the law on rural collective economic organizations to consolidate and improve the basic rural operation system and develop new rural collective economies to benefit the local people. We also to implement the principle of legality of taxation, revised the draft law on the value-added tax and tariffs, as well as to crack down the key issues on the fake statistics and the financial fraud. We also formulated the statistics law and accounting law, and we also revised the anti-monetary laundering in order to protect the security of the country. We also to strengthen the legislation to improve the people's well-being in response to public concerns regarding the inadequate resources and access, as well as quality in public interest pre-K education. We also to revise the laws on the preschool, public interested preschool legislation, and also the issues with the academic degree administrative system. We also draw the laws on protect the cultural heritage. We also revise that the technology outreach law, and also to let the technology pursue as the key prevailing norm and fashion, and we also to guarantee the public health legal system, and we also advance the legislation in the resource and the environmental protection area. We formulated the resources law to promote the high-quality development of the resources, and also to revise that the minerals laws and make sure that we protect the security of the minerals and let them to be used in the rational way. And we also
improve the national security laws and systems. We modified the National Defense Educational Act to pave the way for the popularization and strengthening of national defense education, patriotism, and national defense development. We have modified the law of PRC on emergency responses, so as to protect the people's life and property. Support and further deepen reform. We have studied and implemented the measures of the 3rd plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee, so as to ensure that those major reform measures could be implemented with legal basis. And we execute the CPC Central Committee's decisions and policies so as to make a decision about progressively prolong the mandatory age for retirement. Give play to the NPC's work in legislation. We carefully identify the programs, take the lead in drafting, organizing and coordinating, and reviewing the different stages of legislation. Under the leadership of CPC Central Committee, we have joined forces in legislation. We center on the quality of legislation. We adhere to the objective and legislative rules to aggressively strengthen legislation work in a systemic, cooperative, and timely fashion. We adhere to the democratic legislation and open-door legislation so that this entire process of legislation could be more publicized. And third, exercise our authority to supervise legally, to give play to the important role of NPC in supervising the party and the national supervisory system. The Standing Committee comprehensively harnessed the prescribed supervisory method to ensure that our supervision is correct, effective, and according to the law. Over the year, we have reviewed 21 reports of the government's supervisory commissions, the People's Court and People's Procuratorate. We have reviewed the implementation of 5 laws and organized 2 thematic inquiries, conducted 9 thematic investigations, and formulated 2 decisions. Assist high-quality development. We have reviewed the State Council's report on the financial work conditions as to comprehensively strengthening financial regulation and continuously improving the financial capacity to serve the real economy. We have proposed suggestions. We checked on the implementation of enterprises state-owned assets law and listened to the report of the private sector development so that the different economic entities under all forms of ownership could complement each other and enjoy common development. We implemented the one package of incremental policy by the CPC Central Committee and approved the State Council's motion on the replacement of the existent implicit debt with local government debt quota increase. We also reviewed the State Council's report on building the world-class universities and advantageous disciplines with Chinese characteristics. We strengthened the planning and execution process, and the budget and financial statements were reviewed and supervised. We listened to and reviewed the State Council's report on planning, execution, budgetary execution, central financial statement, the fiscal disaster prevention and reduction. And we approved the 2023 central financial statement and proposed certain suggestions as to strengthening the budgetary execution, performance management, implementing proactive fiscal policy, expanding domestic demand, and others. We reviewed the State Council's auditing work report, and the report of the ratification was reviewed so as to improve the long-term mechanism of auditing rectification and to strictly enforce fiscal discipline. Strengthen supervision of the state assets management and the government debt management. We reviewed the comprehensive report of the state asset management and reviewed the State Council's special report on the administrative state asset management. We set up the management reporting system, and for the first time, we reviewed the relevant State Council report and improved people's livelihood. We reviewed the elderly care system report, and we encourage the solving of the problems concerning the elderly and the children. We checked the implementation of social insurance law, the law on intangible cultural heritage preservation, and facilitate ecological and environmental protection, and pursue village revitalization. We reviewed the State Council's report on the completion of the 2023 environmental protection and to conduct the battle against pollution to pursue green and low-carbon development. Check the Yellow River Preservation implementation condition and conduct thematic inquiries, and legally promote ecological protection of the Yellow River area and pursue high-quality development. Review the implementation of the agricultural law and listen to and deliberate on the report of the arable land protection work so as to lay a solid foundation for ecological protection and to spur the steady income increase of the farmers. Enhance supervision and judicial work supervision. Review the National Commission of Supervision's report on rectifying the bad practices of the masses and the corruption problem. And we reviewed the Supreme People's Court's report on its administrative jurisdiction, and we reviewed the report by the Supreme People's Procuratorate on its procuratorial work. And fourth, improve the work of the deputies to support their legal exercise of duties. We support and ensure that the deputies could faithfully represent the interests and will of the people and participate in the exercising of national power according to the law, to truly become the bridge between the party, the country, and the people. The deputies perform their duties according to the law and never fail the people's expectation, contributing to the high-quality work of the NPC. Improve the quality of deputies' motions and suggestions. We improve the entire process work mechanism of the motions submission, handling, supervision, and feedback, so that the contents of the suggestions and motions could be high quality, and the entire handling process adheres to the principle of high quality. 298 suggestions during the second meeting of the 14th NPC, as well as the 19 legislative programs have been approved and handled. The certain deputies have already received the responses.
We strengthen the communication and the contacts of the deputies, and we implement the communication system with the deputies and also the standing committees, and we also to implement the deputies with specialties and also give full play to their strengths and also strengthen their participation in the work of the standing committee. We also sent the 275 invitations to the deputies in a non-voting rights, and also participate and organize the A5, that's the symposium with them. And we also to contact closely with the people, and we also organize in order to organize the activities of the deputies in order to form the closer tie between the deputies and the people. And we would like to also to bring the people's feedback and the ideas reflected in the suggestions and proposals made deputies. We will also further improve the service guarantee capability, and we also to promote it the training system for the deputies and like them to be guided by the policies and politic ideas, and also to deepen the breadth and depth of studies. And we also further upgrade the telecommunication technology involved in the deputies' work, and also to regulate the deputies' behavior online. And we also did a good job on the exam credentials of the deputies, and we also to pass the by-elections of 3 deputies, and right now we have 2,929 deputies for the 14th NPC. Fifth, we also actively carried out the proactive international communications and to serve the countries' the foreign policies, and we to also to perform our policies of NPCs and also conduct the international exchanges at different levels. And the Council of the chairpersons led the delegations to visit 32 countries, participated in 249 activities at home and abroad, and actively carry out the special committees, the friendship groups, and also the deputies, as well as the communication between the deputy parliament members and from the legislative bodies to advance the country's development. We also participate in the country's bilateral development, and we participate in the 40th meetings of the Parliamentary Parliamentary Union, or IPU. We also participate in the 6 developing countries workshop. We also send delegations to the multilateral events, including the BRICS Forum, the meetings of the IPU, G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit, and the Asia Pacific Parliamentary Forum. We also actively speak about the policies, and also we actively practice and explain that the sitting result on the foreign affairs, and also to promote the idea of the human community with a shared future, and the 3 global initiatives, and also China's Belt and Road Initiative, as well as Chinese modernization, and also the one country, 2 systems, showcase that the results gained in the 75th journeys of New China, as well as the whole process people's democracy, to show the strength of the people's congresses. And we also carry out the 6 foreign-related summits covering the Asia, the Africa, and the Latin America places, and also the Pacific Island countries. I let them to really pay a visit to the field and to learn that the lovely China. 6, we intensify the self-improvement efforts, and in line with requirement to uphold the 4-fold role. We also strengthened the ideas in the organization way of conduct and discipline, and also to cultivate a clean way of conduct and also a good political environment to make things done. We improved our work in political ideas. We implemented and studied the sitting result on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and also to carry out and plan our work and to support the country and parties, the overarching strategies, and also to study and also participate in the meetings to practice the sitting result on the upholding and improving the people's congresses, and also to study and read the book in this regard. We continue to improve our way of conduct. We strictly comply with the Central Party leadership's 8-point decision on improving work conduct, and also to strictly regulate the work and meeting disciplines, and also to emphasize that the work of the study and also the survey should fully reflect people's will and also people's wisdom. And we also improve our work in the media and public communication and theoretical research. We also organize and improve that the special committees and the working commissions and committees, and also work and also keep synergy with the local people's congresses. And the results we gain should give the credit to the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. They are the results of the diligent and hard work of the NPC deputies, members of the NPC standing committees, special committees, and employees of NPC bodies. And they are the results of a close collaboration cooperation from the State Council, the National Commission on the Supervision and the Supreme People's Court, the Supreme People's Procuratorate, and the local people's congresses at the O level, and their standing committees. And they are the result of the full trust and the strong support of the Chinese people of all ethnic groups. On behalf of the NPC Standing Committee, I would like to express our sincere gratitude. We are also keenly aware that there are a number of gaps and shortcomings in our work. We need to further improve the quality of legislative work, and also we should also step up our work in the emergency areas, and also fill in the short links in the foreign-related legislation. And we should also further improve the implementation of the laws, and we should also to make new strides in our work, and also to further improve our capabilities in serving deputies. And also the team should also further strengthen their political thinking, their theoretical level, as well as their working capabilities. And for the standing committees, readily place ourselves under the oversight of the people and continue to improve our work by listening to these suggestions.
Our work in the next year. 2025 is the closing year of the 14th Five-Year Plan, and the Standing Committee, under the strong leadership of CPC Central Committee with the Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, will continue to be guided by Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era and comprehensively implement the guiding principles of the 20th National Congress, the second and the third plenary sessions of the 20th CPC Central Committee. And we will continue to fully understand the decisive role of Xi Jinping's core position on the Party Central Committee and in the party as a whole, and the guiding role of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristic. And we will deeply execute Xi Jinping's thought on the rule of law and his guiding principles concerning improving the People's Congress system and adhere to party's leadership, people's as the master of the nation, and the national governance with the rule of law. First, we will perform our duties according to the Constitution, and we will ensure that the system of constitutional implementation could be implemented. We will set up the reporting mechanism for the constitutional implementation to improve the quality of the constitutional review and filing capacity. Second, promote the legislation work with high quality. We will prearrange the review of 34 legal cases, and we will formulate the National Unity Promotion Law. We will formulate the Private Sector Economic Promotion Law and modify some laws, for example, the Villager Committee's Management Law, and we will continue to compile the ecological and environmental codes and initiate the legal cleaning work. Third, perform the supervision responsibility by centering on the big picture. We will execute the newly modified supervision law and focus on the aspiration and desires and wills of the public according to the decisions of the CPC Central Committee. We will be problem-oriented and results-oriented and pre-arrange 37 projects for supervision. Fourth, give full play to the role of the NPC deputies. We will implement the modified deputy law and implement a working mechanism to gather the public opinion and the wisdom of the public. We will also conduct a county-level and village-level deputy general election investigation. Fifth, enhance our external relations. We will coordinate the different levels of external exchanges and carry out the training session for the developing nations' parliamentary members. Six, take solid measures to promote the development of the four organs to improve the quality of the NPC work. Fellow deputies, let's more closely unite and rallying around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, remain true to our original mission and consolidate our confidence while forging ahead. We will carefully implement the responsibilities bestowed by the Constitution and the laws. In this new era, we will embark on this new journey by conforming to, improving, and executing the system of People's Congress, making unremitting efforts to Chinese modernization so that we could build a strong power and strive for national rejuvenation.